The first class, what I introduced initially, earlier we have done some kind of introduction to the course. What I'll do is I'll give you the kind of brief again, then we'll start with the foundation. So let's start here. The first class is going to be fundamental. So welcome to Cloud Infotech. As we have started initial class with the kind of what is exactly we are going to learn, what methodology, what include in our course, what outcomes our course we have done in a first class. Now we got an idea that what we are learning and what journey of our course is a 3 months duration of the course. Now we are going to do a first class on a technical part. Before jumping to any practicals, any kind of uh, tools or services to be used, we have to work on this kind of fundamental. This terminology is very important to become a cloud and DevOps engineer. If you are non-IT, what you have to do is you have to learn some this fundamental, basic fundamental. We have designed this fundamental as per the cloud and DevOps engineer perspective. Fine. So now the first question is, you can see here, PC versus server. So when I say PC versus server, that means I'm starting from ABCD. When I say PC, personal computer, your laptop, your mobile, your laptop, desktop, computers comes under what? PC. The personal computer, only single user. That means the personal computer is basically designed for single user, or you can say for not running 24 by 7. Single user is going to be 8 hours and 12 hours. That's fine, maximum. But if you run more than that, you'll get system get freeze, hang, right? Hot. The interview question can be PC versus server. In every company, you'll find these two kind of like technology. You can say personal computer or server computers. Only single user, not 24 by 7, low price, single CPU and RAM maximum you can go for what? 64 GB RAM. If you are taking the costly machine and gaming machine also, you'll get 64 GB RAM. So you got to understand that what is the personal computer and server computer. When you say server computer, it is designed to run 24 by 7, number one. Number two is going to word multi-user purpose. It has multi-CPU. Here, a single CPU. Large memory support. It's supporting only 64 GB, but it can support 2 TB of RAM. We are getting storage 2 TB now in our desktop and personal computer, but RAM memory can be supported into the server. That means very large memory support. It has multiple CPUs. So now you got idea about this, but what you have to do is maintenance part. But server computers emits what? Emits carbon dioxide, which generate a lot of heat. So it need what? Needs cooling. Cooling is very important. That means you have to put up something kind of air conditions here in servers. So now we got an idea, but servers are basically run for this. So now if your company having 20 employees, dev, testing employees, developers, testing employees in machine learning, AI or finance, and you want dedicated web server and app servers and database server. If you want to run the servers for multiple users and dedicated you want. If you want that 24 by 7 the server should run and multiple users should access that particular server. How many PCs and server you required? So as per the employee single user, every employee and user should have their own laptop or desktop. The company has to provide. That means 20 PC they required. The servers they required 3 servers as per the requirement is web server, app server and database server. So now you can decide that company can have multiple PCs or multiple servers depending on their requirement. Now I can give example here. This is your company and this is your server room. Your working area. This is going to be a working area where all employees are working there, and there's a space where they do. So now they have desktop computers or laptops, whatever the company has provided. And they have what? Servers. So now you can see that the server machines, I'm drawing as a big machines here, which is kept in a separate room, which is having what? Cooling system plus security, because of what? The server having all the central business data. So it need to be protected from unauthorized users, and it should be inverter. You have to keep inverters. Inverter means what? Because hundreds of users are depends on this server, and definitely this server gets off because of the power supply. Oh, it's not good. So you have to maintain alternative power supply to this servers and cooling system. It's very important. A server can contain a special operating system, server-based operating system. It can be a Windows or it can be a Linux operating system. So depending on that requirement, so people like company choose how many personal computer they required, how many servers they required. Now we got an idea about how the servers and PCs choose. Next, it's going to be very important. Terminology is what? Operating system. If you are working with the management administration part, and if you don't know about this terminology, operating system, it's not good. You cannot understand well about the management system because all management administration come through operating system mostly. So let's start. Operating system is a software. Basically, we know that software, operating system is a software which is initially started with Unix. People knows about Unix operating system, then again they started with different kind of flavors, and Windows started in 1980s, and Windows makes a lot of change in the market, and Windows become very popular because of what? They introduce a kind of graphical interface and mouse, and then multimedia, audio, video, right, camera, everything works there. So when they started this, they clicked more. But Unix was there basically to support a server side. That means server side operating systems are best choice to go for Unix. But client-based end users are basically choice for Windows mostly. But later, like Microsoft also introduced server-based operating system. Now, what we have to talk is the importance of this software. In a computer, whether PC or a server, you required what? One computer, like one operating system to operate this system. Operating system is compulsory. That means you have to install the OS here. You have to install OS. Every system should have what? OS. Without that, you cannot operate this machine. That's very important. Understand this architecture. I'm just drawing here the layer of your system. The first layer of your computer is a hardware layer where CPU, RAM, and storage is available. Then on top of the hardware, you'll find a software layer that is called OS layer, operating system. Again, on the top of operating system, you find your applications. It can be one application or it can be small, it can be big application. All this application is operated by and depends on what? Operating system. You may be having Java, you may be having WordPress, you may be having SAP application. So you may have different softwares here, right? So now whatever the software you're installed and you're working on a system, if you want to use, you need to have what? Applications. So software, primary software and secondary software, which is very important. Primary is a what? Soul of computer. That is called operating system. If someone asks you what is operating system, you say soul of computer. That's it. Soul of computer as a software. Software as a soul of computer. Without this, the computer cannot be operated. So operating systems are very important for every computer. Mobile, laptop, desktop, servers, everyone require this. But servers, we have a special operating system called Windows Server. They have different versions, 2012 or 2016 or 2022 or something. Red Hat Linux. Red Hat Linux and Windows Server is an example of what? Server-based operating system. But client-based operating system is what? Operating system again, two categories, client and server-based. Now, Windows 8, 10, 11 is what? Client-based operating system. It does not have a features and kind of tool to work like a kind of, you can say, administration management. Even it does not support more RAM and CPU. If you run that operating system on the server side, if you install it, so it cannot access more RAM and more CPU. It is not designed for that. But server-based operating system can access more RAM and more CPU. That's why it is that says that it's a server-based OS. So now we got an idea about client and these things. Now here mostly you'll find what? Client operating system for the employees. But where you're running dedicated machines and you want to have dedicated servers where your business application is running, so you're going to go for what? Server OS. So now application. As I said, the second layer of your software is going to be applications. So on top of operating system, the company will use applications depend on their usage. Example, they want that the software like this machine, laptop, they need to give to the developers 10 laptops, 10 developers. So what they required? So on base of requirement, you have to install the software. So MS Office is a common and very popular software from Microsoft, right? Which include MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint. All official work and documentation can be done very easily with MS Office. It's a paid version, it's not free. Some software are paid, some softwares are free. But MS Office is not free, it's a kind of paid software from Microsoft. But now the Microsoft is again converted into what? Cloud-based MS Office. We say Office 365, Microsoft 365. That means you have to understand every software. You need to understand whether license are free, whether installing on a machine or accessing from a cloud. So that means right now most of the softwares is converting and serving the services from cloud because it's going to be cheaper for the customer and it can be available for a lot of customers. So fine. So you got MS Office is common for from an employee, a small employee to the CEO employee, the big employees use what MS Office is common. So my company required some software developer. They are working on WordPress, CMS, Content Management System. CMS is nothing but a word introduced to reduce the number of code and timing, coding timing, and to develop the software very quickly. So the programmer use this. Who use this software? Programmers. WordPress or Joomla. So WordPress Joomla comes under a kind of category of software called Content Management System, where the software can be developed. That means the web application can be developed very quickly with this WordPress. So depending on the usage, the company will go with different multiple applications you can install in one operating system. Oracle and MySQL is what? It's a kind of database application. Yes, this is going to be CMS. Now this is going to be what? Database application. Oracle, Microsoft SQL, a lot of softwares are there. You can see MongoDB, Cassandra. These are applications basically working on a market, right? Database application for storing apps data. That means whatever the application is running, you see here, application we are running with. You can just give a Flipkart example. You can just go ahead Flipkart. And whatever the information you're seeing, that means you're seeing the information about the product, whether it's available or not, what the cost, what is the discount, who is providing this product, right? The information, specification, all those things are done by what? It's stored where? It is not stored into application of Java or PHP, Python. It's not storing. So now you need to understand that this all the data, whatever you're booking or you're just making this kind of thing, is going to be stored into where? Database. Make example of this is my database server. I install Oracle here. So now I install the Oracle. So all my application data will be stored into what? Database. So we have to understand that database is very important. In every project, you'll have a database. A WordPress can be developed, can be used for developing a software, but without database, even WordPress also nothing, because your application required to store the data. That's very important. Every project you'll find database. So sometimes they require for Cassandra, MongoDB. They can go for Oracle. They can go for MySQL. MySQL is free and open source software, like MongoDB, but Oracle is a paid one. Microsoft SQL is a paid one. It's a licensed version. You have to pay. And what is this again? Sometimes they need to provide a software developers Python and Java application. It need to be like in a computers you need to install where the programmers are using the machines. They need to be Python, Java, .NET. This required. Even server computers required, like whenever you want to run this WordPress based application, you have to install WordPress on the server to run that WordPress based application because it's dependent. If you want to run any Java application, the server should have what? Java should be installed. If you have Python based application which is already developed, example your Flipkart or your LinkedIn is developed in Python. So whether the Python, like here, if you want to run that particular application, that means the server should have operating system plus Python, then you can run your application. Understand this. So Python, Java is called what? Programming languages, which who use this? Developers. And software can be local or a cloud based. You have to understand, as I said, softwares are basically now becoming what? Cloud based. No need to install, no need to maintain, no need to purchase, no need to invest the software licensing investment. So now a lot of developers are serving the application as a cloud-based application. That saves a lot of money. Installation maintenance will go headache. So that's very important right now. The cloud-based. What is cloud? We'll talk. That means cloud-based and local machine is what you can see here. My employees required. You have a Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure. The company don't want to purchase because if they install, if they go for local software, they have to go for what? They have to pay upfront fee, license fee. License fee they need to pay plus installation or maintenance, upgrading the softwares. Oh, it's gone now. So in every machine you have to install, in every PC you have to install, every laptop you have to install. But now Microsoft did to say that our product become what? Office 365 is going to be available. We are running this, we have installed, we have maintaining this, everything, no need to purchase, just use it. So my all employees, whether mobile or laptop, whatever it may be, they are going to use what? MS Office, Microsoft Office 365, they can access from online. So these machines are basically operating system having, but application are accessing from this. No need to install in 100 machines software. So that makes sense. Even the company do not need to invest on the money of what? License fee. So that's why people are going for cloud-based application. Adobe Photoshop. So it can be a cloud-based and it can be local available. SaaS application, that means the software which is available from the cloud, which is not installed on your local PC, which is available from somewhere else, and you're paying the rental, how much you use. That is called cloud-based application. The cloud-based application is called what? SaaS, software as a service. In the market, you find Salesforce, Zoom application for conferencing, Microsoft Team, Google Meet, YouTube, Facebook, Gmail, MS Office 365. These are what? It's a cloud-based application. You do not need to install on your computers. You just access it. You use it. That is called software as a service. So now we got that importance of your components, the client machines and server machines, and then importance of operating system. Then after that, you can have one operating system can have multiple applications depending on the use cases. And we got an idea that what software basically runs in a company. So fine. So now here, I want to say one more software here. I can say if you want to make a web server software, what is that? Nginx, IIS, HTTPD. That means if you're running with a Linux operating system, then Nginx is going to be a software to make what? Your system as a web server. A server which serves the websites, or a server which serves the like here contains the customers or application or service to the customer on demand. So if you want to make this server, so you can install these softwares. In Linux, if you are working, you have to install Nginx or HTTPD. But if you're working with IIS and you want to make this IIS Windows as a web server, then you can install IIS software. If you want to go for app server, so what software you required? You required a Python or a Java or WordPress. These are basically what? To support your application. If you want to run application, you need this Python, Java or PHP. You need to have that. Then if you have a database server, that means if you want to make a database server, you have to install what? Oracle, MySQL or Microsoft SQL, or you can say MongoDB. These are database. So fine. We got an idea that to make this server as an app server, database server is based on the application, what you install. that that makes your functionality of the server. Now we talk about operating system. Now we're talking about hardware. So we know that computers is basically electronic device. It works with DC voltage, direct current voltage, and perform computing tasks by using what? CPU. That means all our system works on what? Depends on this CPU. CPU is the power of computing. The word computing means you're opening WhatsApp, you're opening the Chrome, you're opening the YouTube application, you're opening any kind of gaming application, you're opening PhonePe, GPay, whatever you're doing on your mobile or laptop or desktop, that is called computing. So who is allowing to run this application or doing the work? So this computing is responsible. The CPU is responsible, which is basically manufactured by in globally Intel or AMD. Always be ready with a pen paper, make some points. I'll give general information. So here Intel or AMD. Check system configuration. Now example, if I know that got idea that it's electronic device which is basically works on DC voltage and computing task by CPU, and the memory is what? Memory is going to be called RAM, random access memory. Now here you need to understand how to check my system configuration. I have a machine, I want to check it. Samrat, can you say that? How to check my Windows? How much RAM, how much CPU and hard disk information I want to check out. Is it possible?
Yes, sir, possible, sir.
Yes. What are the steps?
Go to run,
Okay, run command.
then type msinfo32.
Okay, msinfo32 is basically what? Now I want to say msinfo32. This is basically what? It's give operating system version, but I want to check hardware. Where is my CPU? Processor. Where is my RAM?
Downwards.
I have to check, right? Install physical memory, 8 GB RAM. Where is my hard disk? I need three information. I need RAM, CPU, hard disk. I got this information. Any other idea? Simple is what? Windows X system. That means it will not give a lot of information. It can give you a proper information about what? Processor Intel Core i5 5th generation. Speed is 2.2 gigahertz. Install RAM is what? 8 GB. That means you got RAM and CPU, but here it's not showing again disk information. It's showing only operating system information. Are you using Windows 11 or Windows 10, right? Which edition you're using, or install on, when, and the OS build. All this information, whether it's activated or not, whether you have purchased or not, is saying activate window. That means that this window is having not activation is expired. That's why saying that activate windows you'll find. So you have to activate again. That means the software need to be yearly. You have to renewal. License is very important. So now if you want to check hard disk information, you say what? Windows X disk management. In general information you should have that. So on the left side you can find disk 0. That means in my computer how many disks I install. In laptop you can find one hard disk, but in desktop you can have 4 hard disks maximum. You can install 4 hard disks, but in laptop you can have default is one going to be one hard disk. So it's showing only disk 0 and it's showing what? 232.46 GB. That means it's going to be 250 GB hard disk. So that means you have a round figure 250. That means it's going to be 128 GB RAM, 120 GB disk, or it's going to be 256, or it's going to be what? 512 GB, or it's going to be 1 TB, 2 TB storage. In that storage, how many partition I have done? C drive and E drive. That means 2 spaces are there. That is called partitions. So you got an idea that how to check the system configuration. So Windows X system, parts of computer internally, you can see that. You can check out RAM and CPU. Check RAM, CPU and OS information. But if you want to check your disk information, again Windows plus X and you go forward disk management. If you go for disk management, you can see disk 0 size. You can easily find what type of operating like hard disk sizes are there. Parts of computer. As I already explained, parts of computer: CPU, memory, storage, internal components. The common is what? Very important: CPU, memory, storage. There will be a power supply, motherboard, a lot of things are there, but I'm talking about CPU, memory, and storage, which is important. So in storage, you have a HDD and SSD. We have to understand about this. And RAM. What is the difference between the storage and RAM? That's just again. So now we'll see. Where do you store personal files in operating system? In RAM or hard disk? We store these applications, operating system, our permanent files. I'm going to store into what? Storage. Storage can have HDD and SSD as a permanent store. That means if you want to store, you can do. But right now, HDD become what? Outdated. People are using SSD. New technology on storage is what? SSD, solid state drive or solid state disk. So this is basically more reliable, high performance. I can say 20 to 30 times is very faster than HDD and more reliable. If you just drop your HDD from 3 feet, so the chances of getting healthy is going to be less, 1%. But SSD, if you throw this SSD disk from the top floor of 10th floor or 12th floor, and the chances of unhealthy is going to be what? 1%. That means it's more reliable, lightweight, and it's shock proof. Because you are installing the hard disk and you got power supply on off and you got a grounding problem, earthing problem of your power supply, the most chances are hard disk. But now hard disk store a lot of important data. That's why they have implemented this kind of SSD. In interview, they can ask you the simple question: what is the difference between HDD and SSD? You say faster, reliable, more reliable, but cheaper. Or sorry, cheaper is what? HDD. SSD is what? Very costly. Fine. So memory, RAM, to store runtime data only. Whenever you're running some application, whenever you're playing the games, whenever you're watching the YouTube. So it is basically stored into where? Temporary, it need to be stored and it need to be compute. So to compute, it need to store somewhere else and then it need to pass. So RAM is very important to compute. Without RAM, your system is basically cannot have a computing, right? RAM is very important. But RAM does not store any kind of data permanently. Example, I'm opening the WordPad and I'm typing this and I have not saved. Suddenly power off. The RAM, whatever I'm typing, it is going to be what? Stored in temporary in RAM. So if it is power supply off, RAM will like RAM data will be removed from that particular memory. But if you store once into hard disk, so it will be available until you delete. Now we got operating system, application, all those things, and web server also have given information, and I have given app server also. That means a machine which serve web pages and install with Nginx or IIS, that machine is called web server. What is app server? Remember this point. Example, your company develop a software and they need a dedicated place where they want to run their application. The software is developed by your software engineers and testing engineers, everything is done. Now they decided to come that like serve the application on market. If they want to do this, so what they require? They need to have a dedicated machine 24/7 and a powerful machine to handle what? The traffic, because internal traffic is different, external traffic is different. External traffic you cannot imagine and you cannot predict how many users are going to come, how many users are going to hit. So now when you're running application, definitely you require this idea. You should know about this, how many users are going to hit. So you cannot predict. So what you have to do is you have to keep, because multiple users are accessing the web server, your website application. So your web server, your application will have what? The front end will be what? Web server. Second machine will make it as what? App server. And third machine will make it as what? Database server. That means we have to, if you want to run one application, so at least three servers is required. One application is distributed into three different dedicated devices, different machines. One's going to serve the pages to the customer. Whatever the pages you're seeing here into this Flipkart, you're seeing the buttons and there is all this graphic, multimedia, audio, video, whatever you're seeing. This is called what? This serving by what? Your web server. But when you click on login and it's asking the email address or number, so when you type something here and you type something request OTP, that means this input by the user and it need to be compute, it need to be give output. So this process will be done by what? Application. All the business logic will be validated by business logic. It can be Java or PHP, Python. Once it's validated, so the information of the user need to be stored into a database. That means to run one application you required what? At least three servers. Fine. So company required dedicated servers here. Note, every or mostly will have three servers. That means every application, mostly applications, your web applications or your mobile applications will have what? Three servers background. The company has to maintain three servers minimum. Now, you have to understand architecture tier. The word tier here. What is tier? Is a kind of separate process which runs your application function one. Example, my application having three functionality. So I'm running one functionality in one machine, second functionality in second machine, and third functionality in third machine. So this functionality when you run is called what? Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. So most applications are working on what? Three-tier architecture. Each server, whatever you're running for the application. Example, sometime you required 5 to 10 servers also. Email, SMS servers, or you required some monitoring servers or different servers. But I'm saying the basic servers are what? Web server, app server, database server. So that means when I say only three servers are you required, that means your application working on which architecture? Three-tier architecture. This is called a terminology you should know. So as I have done the diagram, so this application is running. Example is going to be my application called onlinedoctor.com. So this application is running on this server. So whenever the users are accessing, they're accessing the application from a three-tier architecture. So now you have to understand next is what? Physical infrastructure, virtual infrastructure, and cloud. So whenever I say a physical infrastructure, that means your owned machines. That means to run the business or any kind of company, small company, you required your laptops, you required servers, you required network, storage. So whatever you're keeping as your company business assets to run the IT business, you required server, network, storage, and security. So this all these components basically we will keep in one location, and we provide inverters, and like here air condition is compulsory. So if you do that, and this infrastructure is called data center also, small data center or infrastructure, IT infrastructure. So when you have a physical network, servers, you own it, you're purchasing. That is called what? Physical on your on-premise. On your premise. Sometimes the word we can say on-premises. Note, can run one OS per machine. The physical machine, basically physical infrastructure. Example, you have a laptop, your physical computer. You have a desktop, your physical computer. You have a server, your physical computer. So if you want to run, you got a project that you have to run 4 Linux and 3 Windows. So if you go for physical infrastructure, how many machines do you require? Example, if your company need to run 4 Linux machine and 2 Windows machine. So altogether it's going to be 6. So Windows and Linux is the operating system. If they want to run this Linux separate for Linux and Windows, they require how many servers? 6. 6 physical server they need to purchase. Example, if I have a laptop and I want Linux and Windows and Mac, or Linux and Windows I need to use. Earlier we used to purchase 2 laptops, one laptop with Linux, one laptop with Windows. Sometime I'm working with Linux, sometime I'm going to work with Windows. But now, because of this technology, after the physical infrastructure in the market, we got one more technology which saves a lot of money. Because here you can see that how many operating system you want to run, you have to purchase dedicated one server for that. One hardware can run one operating system. So companies getting what? Investment of what? Cost. It's going to be very costly. You have to purchase. But to reduce this cost, a new technology comes virtualization to reduce the cost on servers. Is a kind of technology which allow you to run multiple operating systems same time on a single hardware. That means I have a laptop. Now can I run Windows and Linux at the same time? Is it possible, Samran?
Yes, sir. It is possible, sir.
Okay, have you done this on your laptop or desktop?
Yes, sir, right, sir.
What software you use?
I use Hyper-V, I think so.
Okay, Hyper-V is what? Basically Microsoft box, right? Hyper-V. So this basically the software which allow you to do virtualization. This software is called what? Hypervisor. Virtualization is a technology. Hypervisor is a software. That means it's a smart operating system, you can say. Smart operating system. Now, because of this hypervisors, it is software to do virtualization. Because of this, now companies are saving a lot of money. So same project, only 4 and 2. Earlier we used to purchase 6. Imagine if you required 50 or 100 Linux server or 50 Windows server. Oh, it's going to be 150. 150 machine you have to purchase, but virtualization make very easy for you, which is initially by VMware company. The product name of the VMware is vSphere. Citrix is a company. The product is what? Zen Server. Oracle, VirtualBox. And Microsoft having one more software hypervisor is called what? Hyper-V. Microsoft, Oracle, VMware, Citrix. These companies are providing what? Virtualization software, which allow and which can save the cost on servers to run multiple operating systems on single system. So the advantage is what? Reduce cost of hardware. So now, do you think that every companies are using? Yes, they want to save the money. So virtualization is very common, like very common to every company. Any company, small to big company, you go, you find some virtualization. So up to is okay on this reduce cost, but I don't want that cost on license example. But license cost you have to pay. Then time of deployment or plus maintenance of this server you have to do. That means only the cost reduce, but whatever the machine you're purchasing, you have to maintain, you have to install, you have to update, you have to upgrade, you have to do a lot of things. So now people want, it's not only server, we want the maintenance, license fee, we want to reduce it, and we want faster deployment of the operating system or application. So if you want to do this, so now in a market, cloud computing initiated in 2006, I can say 2004 also. Initially it's about 2004, but later it's going to be what? 2006. Officially Amazon launch. And internet, what is cloud based? An internet based platform or application which allow you to run virtual machine, virtual servers, virtual network. It's not only server, it's going to be virtual network, virtual storage, right? As a rental from a remote provider off premises. On premises means in your premises, in your location, you have servers. Now, this saving what? No need to purchase servers. But in virtualization, at least 10 servers. If you require 10 operating system, at least you require 2 physical server to run all this application. But now you can see that hypervisor concept. Hypervisor is basically what? This architecture we can understand. The one physical machine, I want to use it. I want to have a strong hardware, CPU plus RAM and storage. So now on top of that, a physical machine, I already said same thing. Operating system, but it's a kind of what? It's not an operating system. It's going to be hypervisor, VMware, Microsoft, Hyper-V, whatever you have. On top of that, you'll find what? Operating system, individual software-based operating system. Sometimes these machines are basically called what? Virtual machines. Sometimes it's called instance, virtual server. So you can have each machine, each boxes, OS here, and it's having an own application. So that means one machine can allow.
Sir, hello.
Yes,
Sir, one thing is there. Actually, you are giving the all the details now, right now. The notes. I am not making the notes because I am listening all the things.
I'll give
After
you
the
that.
class,
I'll give you that.
yeah, okay, okay,
No
okay,
worries.
sir,
No
okay.
worries. But you have to make some key points always.
Right, 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 right.
That means whenever I'm giving some example, three tier, what is this, and this, you have to make a point, okay?
Right,
Which
sir.
makes understanding about, because you're going for what? Administration part. Infrastructure is very important. So now the company used in this way and the virtualization works here. But now it only reduces the cost of hardware. But now operating system license you have to pay. Whatever the software you're using, Oracle, Java, you have to pay. And installation of time, installation is going to be very big headache. And maintaining, updating, patching, the software is very important. Without update and patching, if you do not do that, definitely your systems will get slow or corrupted, or it can be hacked easily. So it's very important that need to be maintained very well. So maintenance is going to be headache. To reduce that, again, they started a new technology called what? Cloud computing. To reduce entire cost of capital expenses and operational expenses. So this technology allow you to have a rental base, no need to purchase any hardware, any software, network, storage, security devices, firewall. Entire data center will be as a rental, as a virtual. No need to have physical machines, no need to have physical devices. So advantage of this, you see here, capital expenses become zero. I do not need to purchase any operating system license or Java, Oracle. I do not need to spend the purchasing of my server, heavy costly servers. One server can cost me about 5 lakhs and 10 lakhs. And operation cost, licensing, rental, cooling system, electricity bill. Oh, it's going to be headache. So now the operation cost, capital cost, everything is going to be advantage. You can save a lot of capital expenses become zero, operations expense become 70% less because you're not maintaining cooling system, you're not maintaining electricity bill or inverters or something. Someone is maintaining and someone is saying that I have all the servers and network everything. If you want, you can use my application and you can create your network storage server as per your requirement. No need to pay any upfront. Pay as you go. Rental system. That's basically technology comes in cloud computing. You have to understand this. And it's provided by Amazon, Microsoft, Oracle, and Google, right? This is going to be a kind of provider. So a lot of providers are there. IBM also there. DigitalOcean is there. Alibaba is there. But mostly common right now in the market is what at least these 3 or 4 people are working well. So this is about a fundamental of your idea, like what exactly you have to understand. Now, once you understand about this, so what you required, you need to understand exam details. That means, as I said, AWS, we're talking about AWS. We need to collect the information about AWS. AWS providing some kind of examination where it's saying that number one is going to be practitioner. Practitioner exam is what? It's a fundamental exams of Amazon and is giving some curriculum to study and to pass out and to understand the technology, how to work. And then they have said what? The top professional way is what? Solution architect. If you want to become engineer, you have to do a kind of AWS solution architect associate, professional or specialist. If you want to do this examination online, if you want certification, external certification, if you want external certification or certification from what? From vendor, that is AWS, Amazon. If you want this, so you need to understand how to approach. What is the exam number? They say SAACO3, Solution Architect Associate, and SCO3 means the version of the examination and the period of the version, like writing the examination. If you want to apply examination, you have to apply to the Pearson Authorized Center. Pearson Authorized Center is online. Like here, you can get in every city, you'll find 3, 4 like Pearson centers. You can approach there and you can sit there. They'll provide that facility and they'll make a facility to write examination, separate cabin for you. But you have to pay how much? $150 to Amazon. So the passing marks will be 70% out of 1,000, and the question will be what? Multiple choice, 65 question you'll be having, and the duration of the examination is 90 minutes. And you have to prove, like you have to submit only ID proof, and there is no date or something to write examination. Tomorrow you can write examination. Saturday you can write examination. You can write from home also, and you can go to center also. There is a provisions. So examination, there is no date. You can write anytime when you're ready, but you have to pay the fee. An ID proof you have to give. That means your Aadhaar card or your PAN card or something details. And anytime expiry is what? Once you write examination, you'll get certificate in 24 hours. Amazon will issue the certificate, and which can be verified globally and is going to be very weightage to your resume. Expiry is going to what? 3 years. And facilities examination is conducted by this company, Pearson. Fine, we got an idea about this examination. Now, if someone asks you the definition of cloud computing, what is cloud computing? You say it's a kind of technology which provides virtual data center as a rental service via internet. That means without internet, cloud computing cannot be defined. That's why you have to define internet. And if you do not define rental, that means you're not defining, you cannot create a definition of cloud computing. And virtual data center, because sometimes people say only storage. It's not storage, complete data center. That's why data center, rental, internet is a keyword to define your cloud computing with low cost, definitely, and high availability, durability, scalability, performance, security. This all features are available in your cloud technology. It's a kind of technology which provide virtual data center as a rental service via internet. So that's you have to utilize in your interview the when you explain, but you have to understand each and every words. And we got an idea that AWS is senior to all because AWS started in 2006, but Microsoft and Google started in 2010. So now, number one provider right now in market is Amazon. Number one provider is Amazon right now, AWS. And they started in 2006. We can have some basic uh, history. 2006 officially they started. How many regions they have? 33 plus. That means when you talk about Amazon started initially from North Virginia, USA, but they started grow, and now globally they have data centers, their operations, physical operations in 33 regions: Canada, Australia, Singapore, India, US, right, Germany, South Africa, you like can say these things, Dubai and Bahrain and even Saudi Arabia also is coming. So a lot of people are adapting this, and the founder is Jeff Bezos. But people before 2006, people do not know about Jeff Bezos, but now people know about Jeff Bezos because they reaches second position or third position in the world as the richest person because of this cloud computing technology, what they like offer to the uh, public. So 33 regions worldwide. In India, they have two regions, two places, physical location. Mumbai first, then Hyderabad. And 200 plus services. How many services they providing? 200 services. Microsoft Azure, Amazon is providing 200 services. So 200 services, that means for different professions. Someone is doing data engineering, someone is doing some kind of security, someone is working on machine learning, AI, someone is working on networking, someone is working on security. For everyone, all the services, whatever they required, it's available with Amazon. 200 plus services. Hypervisor, that means the hypervisor from Citrix. That means Amazon is taking the hypervisor to run their virtual machine in the data center. They're using with collaborated with Citrix company. Remember this point. Citrix is very like here is a very popular kind of product basically to do virtualization. But now Amazon has introduced their own hypervisor called what? Nitro. Slowly Amazon is doing what? Developing their own like softwares. And they have how many customers right now? 1 million plus. So you have to understand 2006, 33 plus, 200 plus are Jeff Bezos. You have to understand initially it is Citrix based virtualization, but now Amazon has developed their own virtualization called Nitro. And 1 million plus customer able to Amazon to have it. NASA, Apple, LinkedIn, Netflix, these are the customers of Amazon. As I said, the provider right now in market senior and is doing best of the services. That's why the provider still Amazon is still in number one position. But Google and Azure, Microsoft also doing hard to compete Amazon. But still Amazon is in strong position. If someone asks you what is the advantage and disadvantage of cloud computing, so now you can see here. And this diagram shows that the company do not require no data center. Stop. No capital expenses. And now the company want to access that particular servers or network storage from AWS region through internet. Cost efficient, less maintenance, high availability, durability, pay-as-you-go model, no upfront, scalability. Oh, improve ROI. ROI means return on investment, return of investment. That means the profit, what exactly they're generating is increasing because of what? Expenses become less. Definitely, when expenses become less, the company will get a lot of profit. That's why people are blindly and madly crazy. They're diverting, they're migrating toward cloud technology. And if you see online application, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or you have a Misho, Rapido, or Zomato, all these applications they are encouraged. They are able to do that particular application in the market because of cloud technology. So these all applications are running in cloud technology because of cost is very low. But imagine tomorrow if someone says, hey, cloud computing got failed, this technology is not going to be more use. So then what? Again, you have to do everything manually. If you want to pay bills, you have to make a queue. If you want to go for any transaction, you have to go to the bank. And if you want to do any kind of like here food, you have to go to that particular location, you have to order, you have to pick up yourself. So a lot of facilities will be unavailable if the cloud technology goes off. So you understand that cloud computing dependencies, how the business is converting to uh, online application. The business has become online because of only cloud. And when you say that advantage and disadvantage of this cloud, you say what? Number one is cost efficient. In an interview, they can ask you, what is cloud computing? So you can define the definition. They can say, can you say the advantage and disadvantages? What is crons and cons? So you can say that first of all is cost efficient, where you do not need to spend a lot of money. That is capital expenses, and operation expenses become 70% or 80% less. Definitely, company will get good ROI. The number one advantage. Why you want to take cloud. Second one is what? Less maintenance because you're not maintaining the electricity, inverter and operating system, application maintenance, patching, updating, installing. Oh, maintenance got bye bye because the servers which is running on Amazon data center, the power supply, electricity or your air conditions, all updating, patching, their team will do that. They'll do go for this all those things facility. We don't need to bother about that. That's why less maintenance and go global on few clicks. If you want, like here, before cloud, if I'm running in a branch, I started my business in India, and after 1 year, 2 years, I found that I'm not getting good business. So I found my team found that they did some analytics and they find that in Germany the product can be sell very well. So if you want to migrate this all these servers and everything, whatever you have purchased, oh, it's going to be very costly transportation, and you have to do some kind of government visa migration process. You have to purchase license, a lot of things, and then you have to set up in Germany. It takes a lot of time, but now in few clicks. Amazon says 33 regions, 33 regions, and Microsoft says 55 regions. So if you are running your servers, network storage, everything into India, Mumbai or Hyderabad, and you want to go forward, you want to move or migrate your servers and everything as it is very quickly to Australia. Is it possible? Yes. Very simple. That's become very simple, very cheaper. Durability is what? Storage. Whatever the customers are using the storage to store the data. So Amazon is saying that we give assurance of what? A kind of 11 nines, 99.999999. That means only 0.1% remain. Amazon saying that yes, we can have this, right? And durability. And durability means what? If you are doing the copy of the data, or storing the data, uploading the data into storage, Amazon is saying that we protect your data with a very strong strategy. Data will be copied into different multiple physical servers. 3 copies will be generated. If something happened to one server, there is no problem. Still, your data is available. So durability is good. High availability, referring to the services. If I type aws.amazon.com, Example, I'm typing this. So I should not get a page information that website not found or unreachable, please try again. That means it's not highly available. They want this application to be accessed by everyone, highly available, highly available. So that's why we need to understand that concept of advantages. Highly available means the services what Amazon is providing to the customers is very highly available. It will not get down because the strategy is what they have a redundancy concept. Redundancy means what? If you have one server, you will have one more server as a backup. If you have one hard disk, one more hard disk will be backup. If you have one network, other internet will be provided. That means multiple network will be there. So you have a redundancy strategy. So they have planned and they have invested a lot of money in that. And then what happened? That high availability, Amazon says 5.59. That means 99.9999. So high availability and durability is good here compared to on-premise. Security, oh, wonderful. Security also is good. But super performance is good compared to your on-premise. And scalability. So scalability is the hallmark feature of what? Cloud. Earlier, it was not possible through virtualization also. But now, we are able to do this. Hallmark feature of cloud computing. Earlier, we were able to run the application with a different strategy, but right now the cloud is saying scalable. That means your server capacity automatically increase and decrease by Amazon itself. You do not need to bother. That's going to be very easy and very is going to be effective in a business life. So scalability is there, performance is there, security, high availability, durability. These are the advantage of your cloud computing. Here disadvantages, yes, Amazon is not saying 100%. Definitely you say what? Downtime will be, chances are there, but 1 or 2% or 3%. Lack of control. If I know something, if something available application is not working, Amazon application, I want to solve it. I cannot take the control of the data center. Security least. Security also disadvantages because if privacy and the way they provide the servers and storage everything on a shared model. Shared model means what? As a single room I'm taking, and single room is shared by what? Multiple people, 10 people to reduce the cost. So Amazon also is giving, Microsoft also giving, Oracle also giving in the same manner. Shared model. That means one physical server shared toward tens of hundreds of users. That means there's a kind of risk of privacy and security. That's why this comes under this one, but it's not complete. There is no security. You cannot say that because officially Microsoft Azure or Amazon officially does not have any kind of like threat or something attacks because they are maintaining good security. So now on the page of security you can say just possibility there. That's why you say it's least. So these are the models: shared model, security, lack of control, downtime is going to be a kind of
Excuse me, sir.
this one. Yeah.
Can you explain the share model one more time?
Okay. Shared model means good question, Samrat. So I appreciate your question. Shared model means your Microsoft Azure, Google, all cloud providers they are working on what shared model. That means I want to take a rental server from Amazon. So Amazon is giving any kind of servers on a rental directly physical server? No. Let's see here. This is going to be a cloud, Amazon cloud, and is having hypervisor, and they're running all this application, and they have a service. So physical server is the example. So now Amazon saying that when you have a physical machines, when you have a physical machines, each machine is a shared model. They are not giving access to the customer directly this machine, this physical machine. They are giving what? Under the physical machine, they have a virtual machines. One physical machine accessed by company A, Dell, and second machine is going to be accessed by LinkedIn. Third machine is going to be Netflix. That means some servers taken by company A, some server is taken by company B. But all these machines are running on what? One physical server. So it's going to be shared model because it's going to be cheaper. So that's why all the providers working on this, and they have done very strategy, good strategy for security and all those things. So you can take example of what if you want to take a room accommodation, you have a two choice whether you go for shared model or you go for individual. If you go for individual, the cost will be more to you because you have to pay everything. But privacy security will be good because I want to talk to my like business. I want to talk some kind of my family. I cannot talk in front of a lot of people. So privacy and security is going to be word. That means no one can enter my home if I lock and empty everything. So I can protect my home. Unauthorized user will not come. In the shared model of people are living more, so you'll have always threatening toward your laptop, your iPhones, or a lot of costly equipments is going to be threatening. And the security because unauthorized people are coming, different people are living here. So that's going to be security and privacy. Same thing in the server also. You have one physical server giving access to like here Wipro or TCS or even the LinkedIn or Dell or you have different companies. They are going with this. So this is called what? Shared model. Is it clear, Samrat?
Yes, sir.
So all the providers are working with that. So same model, shared model they are using. That means whatever the servers you're taking rental from Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Oracle, what exactly they are doing? They are giving you a virtual machine and they are saying that this is your machine. One, two, three, four. Virtual environment they are giving. That's why all are running on same machine, physical machine. So that's why it's gonna be risky. That's why you say what? Shared model and security risk. So this way you have to respond to the interviewer. What is cloud computing? What is advantages, disadvantages? You have to say all those things. So now we got this point and we got an idea how we are working in a company. Understand the product owner, project manager, and your cloud engineer, your developers, testing team, or your you can say AI or machine learning team or different teams are there. So when you get a project, so what exactly you do? When you get these projects, so you need to understand the project and you need to form a team. The company need to form a team, developer, testing engineers, ML, machine learning, or like AI, or they need a data engineer, they need database administrator, Linux administrator, Windows administrator, a lot of people they require. A cloud engineer also required. Cloud engineer will control all the services run and support on cloud. And developer testing and everyone should access the same account with the permission of cloud engineer. Cloud engineer define that who can log in, who cannot log in, everything done by cloud engineer. Cloud engineer gets lock or you can say it's going to be what? You'll find the credential of this cloud account and you can access it. So now that's going to be where you work and every work will be coming through what? Project manager. They'll give simple mail and you can read and you can do it. There is no worries. They'll say, please do this, please back up this, please restore this, please having some problem. So it's your responsibility to understand how you go. Fine. Now you got a point of your responsibility, how you're going to do responsibility. That means your responsibility depends on five domains. Number one, server. Number two, storage. Number third, network. And number four, security. Number five is cost efficiency. That means you have to understand the billing system. Costing is very important. Security, performance. So you have to understand if you are okay with this strategy, then that's fine. You are ready to move to the cloud. Any questions? Any questions, Samran?
No, sir. But one more thing that whatever you give the notes now today, can you give it to me on physical classes?
Yeah, we'll create what? One WhatsApp group. Meanwhile, what I'll do
Hmm.
is I'll share you an email address, right? I'll forward you an email. What's your email
Okay.
address?
So
Email
Biswas,
address?
yeah, Biswas Samrat 331@gmail.com.
You can just text on WhatsApp. So we'll forward a kind of notes on a fundamental notes where you can have this definition, you can have this kind of theory like parts of this first class. You can understand.
Actually, whatever you are giving the instruction, na, that note I need, sir.
Yeah, you'll get. It's a PDF notes we have made. So all this
Yeah, yeah,
information is gathered, and you'll get more information also. In PDF, you'll find more information also. But whenever you're attending class,
yeah.
I'm saying that you have to write key points. Key points are very important. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Online attending because it's recommended to offline. You will get more, but because of the situation, rain and all those things, I'm outside.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we are conducting. But I recommend all students about offline. They have to write, they have to speak, they have to discuss, then they have to do a lot of labs, right? Fine.
Mm-hmm.
No worries. I'll just do it, huh?
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for joining,
Okay,
and
sir.
we'll communicate to you again.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Talent. What can I get that? This is a new friend.
No, I hate the cold actually. And cold winters just became a price for that drink.
Below 70 times whatever you make in Chicago. To sing here, in my club. Exclusively for me.
So sorry, man. Let me get that.
It's all
thing.
right.
So sorry.
It's not your fault.
Hakeem, it's okay. Calm down. She's right. Certainly was an accident. How long have you been working for me, Hakeem?
Almost 2 months, sir.
Then you know then customer is king.
I'm so sorry, sir. I'm sorry, ma'am.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
You should be sorry. Apology. And come sing for me some.
I finally had to tell her last night. Bon voyage, Coco.
Assalamu alaikum. खैरियत से अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. क्या हुआ 5 लोग हैं? ऑनलाइन क्यों नहीं आ रहा लोग? ऑनलाइन तो आ सकते ना? रीजन? तो अपन क्या करना है, क्लास कंडक्ट कर देना है. तो इसमें क्या होता है, ऑनलाइन दिया ना फैसिलिटी अपन, मतलब ऑप्शन दिए कि भाई आना है कैसे भी, पानी रुक गया है और ऑनलाइन करना है बल्कि बोले। तो ये जो है ना उनको प्रोफेशनल तरीके से उनको मालूम होना चाहिए कि भाई कंपनी में जो ना ऐसा नहीं होता है, आपको जाना ही जाना पड़ता है। तो फिलहाल उनको प्रोफेशनलिज्म की जो ना लेसन होना जरूरी है। क्लास ले लेके अपन क्या करना, रिकॉर्डिंग कर लो। आप रिकॉर्डिंग कर रहे हैं क्लासेस में, करिए ना रिकॉर्डिंग, बेटर रहता। तो फिलहाल फिलहाल करना क्या है बोल, तो क्लास ले लेना है। ले लेके उनको बोलना कि भाई you missed the class, we have invited all those things, but you should be very professional, you have to attend, you have to like उन लोगों को इम्पोर्टेंस मालूम होना चाहिए क्लास का। सबको क्योंकि 5-6 लोग आए ना, अभी दूर से आओगे, ऑनलाइन कर रहे हैं, उनकी ख्वाहिश होगी, शौक है उनका, तो क्लास अटेंड करो। हाँ क्लास दे दो, एक कोई सा भी क्लास कंटिन्यू कर लो, फिर बाद में रिकॉर्डिंग रखे तो क्या है, बैकअप दे सकते लोग को, मगर उनको डराना पहले, बोलना कि भाई क्लास होगी खत्म। बच्चों को एंजॉय करो और थैंक यू बोलो, बच्चों को अप्रिशिएट करो कि भाई जो ऑफलाइन ऑनलाइन जो आए, थैंक यू वेरी मच, योर इंटरेस्ट अप्रिशिएटेड, ऐसा। हाँ बस डाल दिया उनको। नहीं नहीं, पर्सनल में रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं करना, रिस्पॉन्ड ही नहीं करना, क्योंकि ग्रुप में करना, कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ाना जरूरी है। साइड से डाल देना, साइड में प्रॉब्लम होता हो, आप कभी देखे नहीं लोगों को तो प्रॉब्लम होता, ग्रुप में देखो चलता। तो फिलहाल वो चीज़ें बहुत सिस्टम जरूरी है, सिस्टम बहुत जरूरी है। जब अपने वो बोल दिए पर आना है आगे, तो क्लास लेना अपन एक। दूसरा क्या है, पर्सनल नहीं करना, आगे डालना, ये करना मेरा, हाँ बहुत जरूरी है। तो ये जो चीज़ें करते हैं निकालना, ठीक है बोलिए बता। हमारा स्ट्रैटेजी समझो, प्रोफेशनल स्ट्रैटेजी समझो, बहुत जरूरी है। क्योंकि आपका मैसेज जो आया, लोग बोलेंगे आना नहीं आना, दूसरे को आप टाइप करेगा कि नहीं पानी हो गया, आना है कैसा है, वो प्रोफेशनल प्रोफेशनल एटीट्यूड, वो प्रोफेशनल एटीट्यूड, मतलब जिम्मेदारी का काम है, प्रोफेशनलिज्म है, और एक बताने के लाइफ में डेडिकेट होना जरूरी है। लाइफ एकदम ग्रीन है और उसमें तो सुस्ती काहे नहीं होगी ना, ये तो सुस्ती सुस्ती काहे नहीं चाहिए ना, बताना चलो सुस्ती काहे नहीं होना चाहिए, ठीक है भाई बता। तो एक और नाश्ता करके चलो माशाल्लाह, नाश्ता बराबर है, काहे प्रॉब्लम होगा क्या, मतलब अच्छा ठीक है। तो अभी मैं कॉल कर लूँगा आपको, मैं नहीं कर लूँगा व्हाट्सएप पे आने के लिए। तो और एक चीज़ क्या करो, आप ऑटो स्टेइंग और बैंक से समझ के राइट प्रॉपर तरीके से एक बार प्रैक्टिस करो, और दूसरा बताया है दूसरी क्लास लेके क्लास अरेंज करेंगे, जो भी कॉल करो कंटिन्यू कर लेना मन करें, ठीक है ना। और नोट्स बना के भाई मैं ऑनलाइन ले लूँ, पॉइंट्स की पॉइंट बनाना, मैं फिर आपको ये तो करके बताना, राइट ये ठीक है। अभी करेंगे बैठ के, आज आज भी कितना कुछ ऑफ है, हाँ वो गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से डिक्लेयर करना कॉलेजेस इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज हमारा को जाना प्रॉब्लम, हाँ उसकी तरफ से ऑफ होगी, मैं आ जा रहा हूँ आज लगा सर। एक कॉलेज है कि ऑफिस है, दो है अभी स्टार्टिंग जो है कॉलेज इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज, दूसरा जो है ऑफिस में जो है, हाँ क्योंकि कॉलेज है इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में, तो एक वो है और एक अपना कुछ 5 डेज या 6 डेज जो है वहाँ लेना है, इनकी जो ऑफिस है कॉस्टेड ऑफिस है, तो लोग कुछ एम्प्लॉयज होंगे कंपनी के, सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनी के, तो लोगों को देना है, वो अभी स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ फिलहाल हो रहा है, ठीक है। मैं इंशाल्लाह आ जाता हूँ आज 4-5 बजे से जाना है, कल इंशाल्लाह वहाँ आऊँगा, क्योंकि कल वो पासपोर्ट का ना टाइम खत्म करके कंटिन्यू, और इसको कंटिन्यू होगा प्लानिंग आप करो, प्लानिंग करो, प्लानिंग ना रियल कल करूँगा अपना, कल जाना, कल ओवरऑल चलते पानी से डिस्टर्ब हो रहा, लाइट का पावर
After 3 good months,